Yep, welcome back. Another week of Pump Pals podcast. I mean, the week just flies on by, doesn't it, Nico? Before you know it, we're back here for another episode. How you tracking?
Yeah, good, mate. As you said, you tend to just fly straight back into trying to build another multi. It feels like we just riding the highs and lows of the punt just a day ago, but we're back into it again, mate.
We are, and I don't know, it just feels like there's a lot of lows at the moment. Every multi I do misses by a leg or a disposal.
Oh, mate, wait till we get into it later. But I'm pretty much similar. It's always one disposal or a goal kick scorer kicked 5 the week before, just goes goalless and sits on the pine for the second half of the game. So that time of year where the teams that are at the business end are kind of just coasting a little bit and resting players throughout games, and the teams that are fighting desperately seem to be able to be pretty plucky and win those games they shouldn't, right? So we'll talk about that as we get into the betting review later, mate. Certainly happened the weekend.
We will. And just to add to that, there's nothing worse than when you're watching a game of footy and you've got a guy for 20 disposals, he's sitting on 19, and then for the entirety of the last 12 minutes of the game, he'll sit on the bench so he can't get that posse, and it is no love for you. It hurts, doesn't it?
Mate, it does hurt, and you're spot on there. So frequently are they resting players at the moment. It makes it really hard, mate, and you're out of the game, really. There's nothing you can do to control your destiny.
No, you've just got to go and have a beer and lay another bet and hope for the best. How's your week been going anyway, mate? What's been cracking?
Oh, just consumed with work at the moment, mate. I am absolutely flat out. Meetings all day. Nothing overly exciting. My son's been a bit unwell, which is not ideal. He's still a bit fluey. So the older fella, Van, he's
poor Van.
just midnight sort of cries out for dad, and go in there and console him and go back to sleep for a couple of hours until he wakes up again. So that's been far from ideal. And then, just doing big days at the office, mate, getting ready for the Ascot return because it's nearly upon us. A couple of months to go, mate, which is a bit scary for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be all systems go, isn't it, once Ascot kicks off? I'm enjoying Belmont, though. It's been a really good year for it.
Has, mate. Yeah, track's been performing well. Got a good quality horse out there at the moment. Fields have been pretty stacked, and some of the better runners you don't normally see this time of year are going around. So Willie Pike's me in the last, all the usual sort of things, mate, which we get involved in, don't we?
I did notice that the Happy Birthday Horses race 8 at Belmont last Saturday, and the big boy Willie Pike got up, so it felt fitting.
Yeah, there's a bit of segue into your review of your bets later on, mate. But how have you been? I know you've been quiet there for a while, in between roles, and people have just slept just straight up, mate. You're straight back into it.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit that way, actually. Been working hard in our household, myself and my wife Alana, both on the tools this week in Brekkie Radio. I've been doing Nova, which has been cool, so pressing the buttons on the pots and pans, as they say, over at Nova. It's been fun.
For those who don't know, Robbie and his wife Alana met on radio all those years ago, so it must be a bit of a familiar return to familiar territory for you, mate, I guess.
Well, it has been. We've both been setting the alarm at 5 a.m. Geez, we're in the office by then. Setting the alarm at 4 a.m. and splitting shower time. I've got to go off to the other shower. She's in the ensuite, and we're getting ready, and the dog's barking, and it's all going on. The neighbours must hate us this week.
Yeah, and then you've got to roll out a potty at 4 o'clock after being up at 4 in the morning. I mean, do you ever sleep, mate, really?
Well, not really, because I went to the soccer last night, and just want to give a shout out to my mates who came over from Melbourne for this. Pino, Aaron and Lucy, Emmy, Frank and Emma Defeaty as well. They love AC Milan. They've been lifelong fans, and every time that Milan have played here, AC Milan, they have made their way across from Melbourne. It's been 3 years in a row now, I think, and they just love it. So they went nuts last night, and they've been showing me, I guess, the ropes. We went on the walk from the the Merriwell to Optus Stadium last night, and there was flares going. We had flags. We're chanting like they have songs. They give you a little songbook.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's really cool.
So you're on boarded as an Inter Milan fan, were you, mate, or AC fan?
Inter, come on.
Inter.
AC Milan, don't you even start with that Inter business. No, I'm actually a member of the Perth AC Milan club.
Okay.
Not a big soccer guy, but I do actually have a membership that I renew every year.
Yeah, so how many members have they got down there at the AC Milan club?
I think it's 120 odd.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, so they're all very proud.
Okay, so you are a bit of a closet soccer fan there, mate, after all.
Yeah, I just like the hype. I like getting involved in the hype. So they reckon AC ain't coming for a while now, so it's been good while it lasted.
You start lighting flares, really, let's be real.
You're not wrong. And they're red and black too, which is good.
Oh, my God. Any excuse, mate. I'll tell you what. Jump on Robbie's socials if you haven't seen the great man in action. I'm sure there'll be plenty of action there from last night, mate.
I'm working on a video at the moment. Don't you worry.
I bet you are.
But how else are things in your world? You been keeping an eye on the footy?
I have been, mate. Yeah. And not with varied successes we'll talk about later, but yeah, it's just that time of year now with a bit of the wild card coming into it. It adds a bit of intrigue. There's teams that would previously be out of it this time of year, still hanging on for dear life, and fans still have their hopes and dreams alive. So it's been interesting, mate, in that sense.
100%. Hey, mate, I know we're on limited time today because, do you know what? We both got to work. So I wanted to jump straight into it with a bit of end of season prediction gear because yeah, we're hitting that point in the year where, you know, there's only 3 rounds to go. The season's starting to take shape. There's still a few things in the air, but we're starting to see a lot of locks. So just wanted to throw it out there to you today and see how you feel about a few things that are about to finalise. And I know you feel very good about one particular thing, and that's that Freo has the minor premiership locked in. But we've also got the final 10 that we've got to look at, the Coleman Medal, the Brownlow, the Rising Star, and of course the grand final and the premiership as well. So wanted to get your thoughts on where you think all that's going to land.
Yeah, mate. Well, depending on how stoked I'll be will be whether you actually end up putting Freo as your premiership tip or not. But yeah, that market's looking pretty pointed. We'll start with a 10. I think, look, as I said, very intriguing at the moment with a couple of teams still alive for that wildcard spot. I think Carlton have probably sewn it up now. I think what they achieved on the weekend with Brisbane bodes well for their last 9 games, really. They've only dropped a couple. Means they're probably right where they should be and probably will sneak in there for that 10th spot. Unlucky, though, for the Roos. They have lost, I think, 7 games by under 3 goals this year. So they've been in a lot of games, including that game down in Tasmania over the weekend. So they're going to miss out, it looks like it. And the other 2 notable omissions will be GWS and Gold Coast, the big sliders from last year. GWS decimated with injury, probably has a lot of excuses, whereas Gold Coast, they pretty much just shit the bed, really, mate. They've been super disappointing. And I was listening to a podcast early this morning, the Cubby Sports podcast, and Oleg Markov was on there. He has a few mates playing at Gold Coast, and he seems to think that there is a bit of disharmony between the coach and the players. They're a bit sick of Dimmer talking about his heyday at Richmond where they won that 3-peat, and I think, it has just created a bit of a fracture with the group. Furthermore, Anderson coming on a podcast on through the media recently and saying he's not yet committed long term and was a bit cagey about the questions asking him where he'll be in a few years' time. So, don't know, mate. I don't like what I see, and I think it's been just desserts for Gold Coast. They probably got a bit ahead of themselves, I think.
I tend to agree with you there, and it is interesting when you look at that top 10 just a little bit further. Carlton, as you say, are in 10th at the moment, and it's 4 points between them and St Kilda, who are sitting in 11th. And I think it probably is set now. It does look that way. St Kilda have got Carlton, which is going to be oh no, they've just had Carlton, haven't they? What do they got coming up next? They got Richmond, who they should win, and the Suns, which they should win. So
could be interesting.
And Carlton this weekend. So they're a chance, but everything would have to go their way.
We'd say Carlton St Kilda's the kind of defining game then, really, for the 10, isn't it? You feel like it's pretty hard after that. So we'll know a lot once that game's finished, I guess. Yeah,
we'll know a lot on Monday, which is really cool to see, actually. So, all right. So we reckon that's about locked in. Wanted to get your take, and we'll go through these pretty quickly. So we've got the Coleman, the Brownlow, and the Rising Star. Now, just one thing I wanted to throw out to you really quickly with the Coleman is that Curnow paying $1.45 is the odds-on dead-set favourite. I think when I looked yesterday, it was 5 goals. But the guy who I'm really interested in is the third favourite, the Wizard, Nick the Wizard Watson, your man. He's paying $12 and he's 5 behind, I believe. Let me just go and check that. So he's in touch. It is doable, yeah. Charlie Curnow 57, Ben King 53, and Nick Watson 52.
It is, because I know you love the Wiz. I've broken it down into a bit more detail as to the teams they play in the run home. So the Swans, Charlie looks like he's probably going to wrap it up for me. The Swans play Port this weekend, the Bombers, and then North, who, let's be honest, all 3 of those teams like a backline other than Port.
Port not bad.
Arguably good. So you think he's going to kick bags against those 3. However, mate, you're looking at the Lions, the Pies, and the Eagles for the Hawks in the run home. So the last game of the season is the Hawks versus the Eagles. the Watson will know how many goals he needs to kick, probably to win that Coleman medal. So you can guarantee they're going to be trying to find him Brendan Favola style from when he was trying to rack up that ton a decade ago. He will probably have to kick 5 or 6, and it could come down to the last game of the last round to see whether the Wiz can get it done. So I'm bloody excited for that.
Ironically, you mentioned that Brendan Favola game, and that was against Hawthorn. Clarko was doing everything in his power to make sure Fev didn't kick that goal, and he succeeded in the end.
Oh, it was a disgrace, mate, and Fev's still dirty on it. But I reckon the Watson could kick a big bag against the Eagles, but let's just say if Charlie's out by 9-10 goals by that stage, which he may well be facing those teams over the next few weeks in the Bombers and North, it could be all done and dusted by then.
Yeah, that's a very good point there as well. Brownlow, Dacos is the odds-on favourite. On my Sportsbet account, you know how we did those multis at the start of the year? They paid out that leg. They're saying Dacos has got it. So I don't know if that's a little bit sus within the AFL. I mean, yes, he has had a good season and there's probably not too many taking votes off him, but I think I don't know if he's that odds on at this point, is he? There's been some players who've had amazing seasons.
I think the difference is that the umpire's now getting the stat sheet from the game. Probably means that he's going to stick out off the page. You know, I feel like there's almost been a campaign for him to win the Brownlow and to win the fairest and best now at Collingwood. I feel like that's an unconscious bias that's hard to measure. But to your point, mate,
unconscious now.
Well, yeah, everyone's talking about it. I guess the real interest from a market's perspective is now the Brownlow without Dacos market, and I think Bont without Dacos, so the most votes behind Dacos at 350 is a price I'm keen to take.
Well, that's good.
So I'd probably be playing that and probably the Dacos Bont Quinella, which is still a market that's available too. So either of those is probably where I'd be putting my money at the moment. I think the Bont's had an extremely good year and would be really unlucky again.
Do you have that market in front of you, or is it something you looked at earlier? Because I'd like to know Dawson. I'd like to know Dawson's odds for that market without Dacos, because I reckon he has had the most brilliant season. He kicks goals. He gets heaps of posies. And to be fair, 9 times out of 10, he would be named as Adelaide's best player, and they've won quite a few games this year. So I really like Dawson for it this year. Yeah,
Dawson's about 750, I think, markets without Dacos in. So there's good value there. I really love playing the trifectas, man. I have a bit of an unhealthy infatuation with playing a box trifecta in the Brownlow. And I picked up one a few years ago that paid about 41s. And I probably ran 5 combos, but was well in front at the end of the night. And you can get those kind of 3-way ties and stuff that can happen second and third as well. They still pay you out. So I reckon those 3 you've zeroed in on there. Dacos, obviously, leave him out of the conversation for now. Bont, Dawson, they're the ones you want to be playing around, I reckon. And Heaney probably in there as well if you can make him into the field.
Yeah, love that from you. It's interesting, actually, those Brownlow medal markets that you mentioned, and we'll obviously delve into this a little bit later on in the year. The thing that always burns me is the multis where you go most votes for each team. And there's always one team that you think, this guy's obviously going to do it, and then someone else pops up and burns him. It's usually on those lower ranking teams as well, like where most players don't get over 10 votes.
Yeah, it's hard to poll when losing games and you're losing side for sure, mate. Yeah, no, I reckon we'll do a little bit of a special for the listeners out there ahead of that Brownlow market and try and pick that combination of most votes per team and have a bit of fun with it, mate. But that's why I'm looking at the Brownlow anyway.
Love it. I want to build up to the point where we actually do a listener party for Brownlow medal as well. That would be amazing. That might be 2027.
Yeah, mate, I think so. We might be a bit inebriated that night somewhere else, to be honest.
Mate, just very quickly, Rising Star. I think Jagger Smith's got that completely and utterly wrapped up now at $1.14. He's just been too good. For me, the flag, mate, Freo do look very good, but be wary of the Lions. They're the second favourite at $5.50, and they do know how to get it done. So, I don't know, at the very pointy end of the season, that's the team that you need to be most wary about as a Fremantle supporter.
I agree. Quickly on the Rising Star, very keen to have a nibble at Harry Dean at $11. He's taken 4 big scalps in I think 5 of the top 6 Coleman medal contenders at the moment. He's having an enormous year. So whilst Jagger's probably going to get it as a midfielder, I think Harry Dean, $11, you just have to have a couple of shekels there. I think the Hawks are the danger for the premiership for Freo, mate, myself.
Interesting.
Because
that meant practicing Morphy time.
Yeah. I just think they match up really well against us. Obviously, we needed Wolfie time to beat them over here in Perth. They took us through to the death knock. But Barras, Battle, they have the key backs to hold down Freo's offensive power. Probably not all the way. One of them might get off the chain, whether it be Voss, Tracy or Amos on their day. But they're the only team I can think of in that mix. Sydney, they're a bit vulnerable. They've got McCartan, but they don't really have that second fiddle key back that can do the job. Hamling's probably a little bit unders for the likes of Amos or Tracy himself. So I think the Hawks are a big smoky at 650, and I'll probably play both. So free or lose, I've still got skin in the game.
Love it. Good work from you, sir. We're going to move on to Hero of the Week because I've got a really good one for you this week, mate. You would have said, I know you would be aware of this, but going back 9 months, just over, there was an accident at Flemington on Melbourne Cup Day. Blake Shin came off his horse, broke his leg in 2 places.
Yes, mate.
And mate, there was fears for his career. They thought he might have been done, and he's one of the biggest jockeys in Australia. So this was a massive story at the time. Fast forward those 9 months, and he actually made his comeback last Saturday at Flemington. So same track as where he did that leg injury all those months ago. He was on the favourite race 1, Nirko Frod. And, mate, he got the job done, which is an unbelievable effort. No warm-ups, straight on the favourite, straight onto a winning horse, and that's the way to make a comeback and get your confidence back. So I just wanted to throw it out there, Blake Shin, our hero of the week, because that is an amazing effort. And I'd say it's been underreported. Like, that is one of the biggest sporting stories out of Australia this year. It's actually huge.
It's a bloody good shout, mate. And to compare it to football terms, right? As a footballer, you're probably into the weights a little bit more. You're probably blowing out a little bit because you can't do that cardio. As a jockey, you've got to be 3, 4, 5% body fat to make weight. So to stay that fit, to be straight back into, let's just say for jockeys, that Saturday Metro meetings are, the finals like atmosphere for them or the equivalent of, and just go bang in your first race. Like, welcome back, brother.
It's unbelievable. It actually is unbelievable. And
crazy.
You're doing that at Flemington. You're not doing that at a country track.
Yeah, it's
like
HQ,
he's gone
mate.
back to the big time.
Gone back to the scene of the crime too, to your point, even more impressively. And there would have been some mental scarring and some demons there, and he's managed to overcome them and probably get the win out of the way early, which would have been great for his confidence. I'm not sure if he rode any others on the day, but if you backed him in the first, you'd be pretty stoked, I reckon.
You would be absolutely stoked. That was an amazing effort. So well done to Blake Shin, our hero of the week for this week.
Very
now,
good,
mate, you got any multis that you want to get done for this week? I mean, I know you love a 10-10-20.
Well, quickly, should we touch on last week's bets? Because we sort of teased it out.
Oh, that's true. I guess we might as well.
And we can do it very briefly. We just need to keep ourselves honest, I think, don't we, mate?
Yeah, I think you're probably right, actually.
Mine's going to take 30 seconds. I try to be a bit of a smart ass, mate, and just, keep it simple and, don't dive into the form. Let's go the head-to-head multi. And that was my saver for the weekend. I felt safe as houses, mate. Cats versus Pies, bang. That was a good price too. Cats were paying $1.72 on the Thursday night, I think it was, and I said that was the overs for the weekend. They absolutely pissed it in. Freo beat the Bullies, bang. Swans versus Saints. The Swans looked pretty shaky as my choice. They really only just steamrolled them late, but that got the job done. Hawks versus North, same thing. The Roos led at half time. I had the Hawks. They ended up getting the job done by only 18 points, which is typical Roos this year. And then, mate, I'm thinking, well, I'm playing with the house money here. The Lions are going to knock off Carlton for sure. But didn't the Carlton Blues turn up for Paddy Cripps' milestone game? It was an absolute miss by me as a punter. I would not have thrown them in head-to-head if I knew Paddy Cripps was playing his 250th, I think it was, on the night.
We didn't mention that last week in the pod.
Should have been hero of the week, mate.
Yeah,
WA
should
boy.
have been.
76-point drubbing by Carlton against the Lions. And I had to go back through the archives, Robbie. How's this for a stat? The last time the Lions gave up 150 points defensively, it was to Sydney last year, but prior to that, it's been 12 years since they've conceded 150 points. And they've only beaten the Lions, Carlton, twice in the last 15 years of football.
Really?
Cop that.
There's some good stats.
So, I mean, you look at those numbers on the paper and you think this is just going to be a Lions laissez affair and they're going to absolutely romp home here. They need to be steamrolling into the finals, but they just they lacked the desperation for the footy, mate, really. It's just Carlton were there first and just swarmed them with pressure and very un-Brisbane-like. So lost that multi. Let's not dwell on it too much. And then the 10-20s had another crack and had a few messages from the boys actually over the weekend saying the 10-20s may not be the way to go, mate, but I'm sticking with it. Murphy Reid, tick. No problem at all. Chad Warner, tick. 25, needed 20. Garcia, averages 23.7 possessions per game, got 15. Snake Blakey, 20 plus, had 28. Connor McDonald got 19 of 20, averages 23 a game. Ward, tick. Simpkin, tick. Jagger, tick. McCluggage, 18, then injured. And Bailey, 18 of 20. So, mate, I missed out on 10 posies all up across 10 players and felt pretty stiff because the two that really missed for me, the guys in that line side that underperformed in McCluggage and Bailey.
It hurts, doesn't it? It hurts.
Belmont Bolter had 3 horses. Two went really well. The other one went crap in Berry Blast in the last, so that multi sank as well. So, mate, bit of a shit show, to be honest.
Rough day on the punt. And all I want to do is pay that sting for you again, the 10-10-20s. Bit of T-Pain, but...
Well, I've got to wait for a win for that.
It's T-Pain, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Tiger, mate, Tiger.
Oh, sorry, Tiger. Yeah, but that's what I mean. You got to have a win before I can play it for you again, so this is a bit disappointing.
Well, you got a few more weeks probably to save it up, mate. That's why I'm going. No, I'll bounce this week, mate. Bouncing.
Love it. Just for me, mate, I had my Saturday super shot. And things were going well, but there was just a couple of legs that let me down. So, I mean, the first game was a killer straight up. I had Chad Warner for 90-plus fantasy points, and he did that. He got 101. Isaac Heaney, that was a problem in the end. He had a very quiet last quarter. No, he had a very quiet second quarter, I think, and he went hard in the last 2. I had him for 25-plus. He ended up with 22. He was chasing hard, just couldn't get it done. Blake Hardwick, I had for 20 disposals. He got that done easy. He got 23. The one that I was very proud of, mate, because I'd said to you, the bet of the weekend is get on Nick Watson for 3+ goals. He was going to do it easy, and he kicked 5 in the end.
Kicked 3 and a quarter, didn't he?
Yeah, he was so good.
What'd that pay?
I think the 3 was paying just over $2. So 5 was probably around $3.50, I would say. Jeez, maybe 4. Man.
That's a saver for the weekend right there. One result.
Yeah, well, if I took it just on the nose, it would have been, but it was part of this multi, so it was no good. Jason Horn-Francis, 16+ kicks, he got the 19. Himmelberg, 15+ disposals, he got smack on 15. But the game that let me down, just like you, was Brizzy Carlton. Will Ashcroft, 30+ disposals, he got that 32. Zach Bailey, quiet, only 18 disposals, I had him for 20. But I also had Brisbane on the nose for this for some silly reason, and that let me down as well. So
for good reason, mate. It was a $19.25 multi, so
yeah,
you got to add some value in. Brizzy should have got it done, man. Let's be honest, but
it's true. I don't normally put head-to-heads in these either, so it was very disappointing.
Two quick things, mate.
Yeah,
on your multi, Isaac Heaney is frustrating for me because if they run a hard tag to him, he takes him to the goal square. And he kicks goals.
If
they don't tag him and they tag Goulden, he'll operate in the middle the whole game and have 30 and probably still kick 2 goals. So I've backed him a few times and he's gone at under 20 even, let alone 25, and he's ended up kicking bags of 3 or 4 and having 18, 20 possessions. So I don't know what to do with him. And then I think the Brizzy game, just one more final comment on it. I think when Carlton are fighting for a spot in the wild card and the Brisbane are pretty much sewn up their spot in the top 6, again, it's probably just something that would be wary of on the punt now, I guess, in reflection moving forward. Who's got the team? Who's the team that's got more to play for?
It's a very good point, actually. It's actually, like, in these last 3 rounds, it's one to look at as well. Just on the Heaney thing as well, one thing I have noticed, and this is why I'm loving it at the moment, betting on fantasy points. I'm telling you, because it's one of those sections where you can actually have 2 bites of the cherry. Heaney, like you just mentioned, he could get disposals or goals in order to do it. Dacos is another one who does it all the time. He's kicking goals this year. It's never been part of his game, but it's something that's really sort of ramped up this year, and he'll kick goals and get disposals. So if you can take him for fantasy points, you've got 2 bites of the cherry, and I like that.
I like it a lot, mate. Absolutely. Fantasy points go over. Well, give us a 10 over 100 fantasy point multi next week, will you?
Oh, okay. Onto it.
10 undies.
I like that. Before we get into our bets, I've just got one more from last week, which was a bust anyway. It was a happy birthday horses box trifecta. Bell Journey won, but every other leg I had in it was nowhere near it, so that was very disappointing. God damn it.
And I'm just going to say, when you don't back Pike in the last and he wins, you've only really got yourself to blame, haven't you, really?
Pretty much.
$9.50 Bell Journey paid in that last race. You're very close to a sniffy little trifecta there, but sometimes you just get a back Pikey out right in the last, and you probably get unders most times punters because he'll probably be riding a $5 shot that's running around for $2. But he just finds a way to lift them, doesn't he?
He does, and at $9.50, oh my God, that's one where you go into the pub that night. Probably the Cats.
Every time. Every time.
All right, mate. You got any bets for this week?
No, I've just got one, mate. 10-20s again, mate. Don't shy away from it.
Tiger.
I want the sting next week. I'm finding it, just as an insight, I'm finding it very tough now to find players that are paying more than $1.15 for 20 plus. That 3 or 4 weeks ago you were getting $1.20, $1.25 for. So I think the odds are tightened a little bit. So here's my 10. In the Brisbane Hawthorn game, Josh Ward, 20, had him in last week, goes in again. Blake Hardwick, your man, 20 plus off half back. I think he'll be busy down there. It is the Lions. I'll be keen to bounce back at home, so I think he will be busy off half back. Obviously, they're lacking Carl Amon at the moment, I think, or Impey. One of them's injured, so Blake Hardwick's been racking up the posies and getting kickouts. Josh Dunkley, 20. In the Melbourne Freo game, Tom Sparrow, Jake Bowie, Jack Steele, Murphy Reid, 20. And then the last two, Nick Blakey and Chad Warner, 20 plus in the Swans versus Port Adelaide game, $6.52 for the weekend. So a little less than the $8.80 last week, but we want to get one on the board, mate.
Perfect. Good from you, and hopefully we'll be playing the sting for you next week.
Yeah, please.
10, 20, bitch.
Let's do it.
Fingers crossed. For me, mate, I've just got the Saturday Super Shot, so an 8-leg multi. It's paying $47.34, so it's quite juicy if this gets up.
Get on.
And nothing's outrageous. So I'm going Melbourne Freo. That's obviously the first game of Saturday. Sparrow 22 plus. He's doing that every week. Paddy Voss, who's been a little bit quiet. He's only kicked one. He's got a picket fence from the last 3 games. So I've taken him for multiples at 2 plus. Swans and Port, 2 legs from that. Goulden 29 disposals, and he's doing that pretty much every week since he's back in the side. Chad Warner 21 plus disposals. Cats and Dons, Dempsey 2 plus goals. Paying $1.99 for that, which I just thought was an interesting number. You don't normally see $1.99. Tom Stewart 22 plus, and he's the guy that always burns me. Like every time I bet on him, he will not get his disposals. Every time I don't, he gets them. Ed Richards from the Bulldogs is the same for some reason with me, and I don't know why. Jordan Dawson, 28 plus, and Tim Taranto, 25 plus in the Crows and Tigers. That's going to get us $47.34. Chuck a tenner on it, and you could be having a very good Saturday.
I will definitely be chucking a 10 on it, mate. 10 tens, I think. 100 on it.
Ooh, I like it. I like it.
I'm almost ready to book my accommodation for Melbourne too for the grand final, so that'll be coming nicely, mate. That 47 multi.
Oh, has he booked his flights yet? That's the big question.
Well, I'll tell you more about that next week in the potty, mate. I'll keep my powder dry till then.
Oh, hello. Look, I've got a wife running past, getting the dog. See her pop in.
Hey, Lance.
Hi, Pump House.
Ask for her tips. She pulled out that Dacos that I was telling you about.
That was crazy.
No, sorry, Pendlebury. Pendlebury back on his milestone game.
I've also got Luke Jackson for the Brownlow at $41, and I reckon he's a shot.
Yeah, it's juice. Yeah. Definitely top 3 Lance, I reckon.
Yeah.
No doubt.
It's going to be an upset.
More points, more votes than Murphy Reid, you reckon?
I reckon.
He's just done a few specky things.
Yeah, it's true.
Kicks goals too. The big dog.
Is he the All-Australian ruckman? That's the big question.
Well, I think Maxi Gons had a better second half of the year personally, Robbie, but Freo have won a lot of games, so that helps.
Gawn also had a very good first half of the year, just quietly. So he could go nine All-Australians.
My Jacko ahead of him halfway through the year. I've got Gawn now, just neck and neck there down the straight, mate, as we work into the All-Australian list. So,
well, Grundy's just hanging around there too, don't forget. Grundy's had a ripping year.
Yeah, he's one off the leader, just nipping at the heels, mate, in the slipstream.
Love it. That pretty much wraps us up, mate.
That's us for today, mate. Good luck on the punt, everyone out there, and get on Robbie's big multi and follow my 10-20s because eventually we're going to hit one, mate, and we're going to celebrate big time.
We're only 1 or 2 legs off every week, so this could be our week where they both get up. Wouldn't that be a huge weekend for Punt Pals?
And if you're listening to the Punt Pals episode for the first time, maybe start at the beginning of the year where we're absolutely flying. And then just temper your expectations over the last few weeks. We've been off the boil a bit, but that's the punt for you. Tough time of year to be punting, folks, and I'm sure we'll hit one this weekend for sure.
Yeah, it's guaranteed. It's got to happen. On that, let's get out of here. You have a good week, mate, and we'll chat again next week.
You too, brother. See you, mate.